Hey guys, it's Mike. I want to talk a little bit about, I think, the craziest story that I have from working at Voltage Video Games, owning Voltage Video Games. This one is a break-in that really kind of put us on the map for a lot of people because it was really crazy. It made regional news and I think even international news a little bit. And it's kind of multi-part. It's on the longer side, so I might end up breaking this into a couple videos. We'll find out. But let me first take you back to 2015, February, winter 2015. There's snow on the ground. Well, in Syracuse for sure. So we're in Syracuse, so it's very, very snowy. So if you're not used to snow, there's snow on the ground in February for sure. It's very cold. I remember it being just really frigid, maybe even below 0 Fahrenheit. So somewhere between like -10 and like 5 degrees. Very, very, very cold. And I am up above our old store, which was on Jefferson Street in downtown Syracuse. And so I am above the store because I live above the store in a not super legal converted apartment. And I recall I was like either on YouTube or I was like watching or playing some video games or something like that. And I recall like hearing noises kind of like in the background. I mean, I'm downtown, so there are like some noises even at that kind of hour. But I remember hearing something high pitched or whatever, and I was just playing the game, so I didn't think anything of it. And then a couple minutes after that, I got a call. So I got a call, and it was our alarm company. And our alarm company said, "Hey, we have an interior. We have a door glass break, and we have an interior alarm, and all this stuff. Would you like us to send the police?" Yeah, yeah. Send the police. Call the police, please. I wish you had done that, 2 minutes ago. Um, so that happened. At the same time, I'm like, I'm right upstairs. I should just go down. It's probably because we'd had a false alarm or two. Like like the AC kicks on, and that it's been a while, so some of my details might be wrong, but now I'm remembering. The door didn't go off. The interior motion went off. Um, so I figured it was kind of like a false alarm. It was like the AC kicking on and blowing like hot air into an otherwise very, very cold store, and that hot air would trip one of the interior motion sensors. And I figured, well, I'm right here. I might as well just go down, confirm like the windows are fine, there's nothing in there, etc. And also the police would probably be by in a couple minutes, so be no big deal. The police usually get there very, very quickly, especially late at night, because like there isn't usually a lot going on at like 1 a.m., in the middle of winter. So they have police usually stationed nearby downtown, and they get there within like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something pretty quick. So I go down, and I see that the door is indeed smashed open. Or not smashed, it looks more like they had like kind of pried and ripped the glass out of its like holder, and it didn't really shatter. So I realized then, oh shit, yeah, they're like the door glass is missing. There has actually been a break-in. That's what those noises I was hearing were. Not just the alarm, but probably like the sound of this thing being pried off. Um, and I kind of look in. It's cold, by the way. Again, like I'm not fully dressed. I think I have like a little, like, I have a t-shirt and some other stuff on, maybe like a hoodie, but like I don't have a coat on or anything. And it is like 0 degrees. It's frigid. And so I'm looking in, and it's dark because none of the lights are on. I'm looking in, and I don't see any movement or anything, and there's no movement out on the street. So I'm like, well, either somebody's in there or they've already left. But like, I just got the alarm. Like, you can't get here faster than I got here. Um, like, I just came down, so they must still be in there. So I'm like, kind of like waiting outside. I'm like, do I have mace on me? Oh, I do have mace on me. Back then I lived downtown, so I carried some mace. I'm like, all right, I have mace, and the cops will be here like really soon. So I'm like around the corner, just kind of like watching. Cops get there. A couple minutes later, they're there pretty quick. I hail them and I explain who I am, etc. And they go in there with me. Nobody there. Nobody's in there. So we so yeah, the cop was really disappointed. She's like, see, you're so quick. I figured I would get him. I'm like, yeah, me too. I have to explain I like live in the building, and she's like, oh, okay. We look around. She looks through like every single like, the bathroom, all the back areas. Nobody there. And the store at this point is freezing cold too. Like the air is just rushing in through that like open door window. It's really, really, really cold. So we had to board up the window. I let everybody know via like our internal chat what had happened, and then I go to look at the cameras. So the cameras show somebody breaking in, so prying the glass off, coming in kind of in a pretty leisurely kind of way. I mean, he's not moving slowly, but he's just kind of walking in like, haha, I'm inside now. The alarm must have tripped. We didn't have audio in our camera system, but like you can tell like something is up because he's kind of moving leisurely, and then like about 5 seconds after coming in, he like is like comes alive and he starts running. So then he's running. He jumps over the display case. Like he's in back for not long, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And then he's back out on the other side. He's carrying some stuff. He jumps back over the display case and he bolts. So he's in and out in, I think it was like a minute. It was really quick. I think as soon as that alarm went off, he was like, oh shit. And he booked it. Now what did he get? He was carrying a bunch of video game systems. So at first glance, our cameras, security cameras are never super great. But, back in 2015, when we had less money and resources and it was 2015, they were especially grainy. They were not great. So, and he was covered from like head to toe, which of course he would be, because it was frigid. So just to work on the door as he was, which it seemed like you could see signs that he had been working on it for a while. So it probably took him, half hour to an hour to break through that door. It was real cold. So what did he get? So I thought he had gotten Xbox 360s, to which I was like, ugh. I mean, that sucks. That's a couple $100, few $100 worth of stuff. But the damage and the fact that now we have to be in the middle of winter without a freaking window on our door, that's way worse. Like the store is just so cold. We had to set up like little small heaters and stuff around the store. And that's the thing. I'll just stop real quick. When there is a break-in at a place like ours, or probably any place really, people often go, oh, insurance. You got insurance. It's fine. Like, you're good. No problem. Yeah, okay. One, very quickly on insurance, they cover cost on a lot of stuff. So when someone steals something that we paid for via like a trade-in, we're only getting back what we paid for it, not the actual value of the item. Not the time that it took to buy it, not the fact that like we can't replace it with anything. Like there's no like way to be like, hey, just come trade us another one of those, guy, that like in the community. It's not how it works. So the cost, we lose the real value. We can't replace it. It kills our inventory, so we just have less stuff and we're just a less good store. And then the kicker is that since we can't replace it, if we were just buying from like a distributor, here's a new controller. It got stolen. We get our money back. We buy another new controller. That's one thing. When we can't replace it and we just get like some money in from the insurance company, we then get taxed on that too. So we get the cost. Oh yeah, minus the taxes on it because it's income because we can't replace it. So it's really lousy. And then you're also missing and all the time commitment to like clean it up and bundle all that kind of stuff. So you're missing all that. You're also missing that like, hey, luckily I lived in the building, but if I didn't, I would have to drive down to downtown Syracuse in the middle of the night. Well, it's cold. Well, also I'm wondering like what's happened to the store, which this has happened a few times. Like driving down to Syracuse, middle of the night, hoping that my store is like in one piece. That stress, that time, that anxiety, plus like, hey, now our store doesn't have like it's freezing cold for the next couple of days for our employees, for our customers. Plus we have to clean up the glass, we have to clean up all the damage and stuff. It's no, it's not just okay because an insurance company writes like some kind of check. Never mind that we have to like argue with them. Well, not argue with them, but we have to like talk to them and prove what was stolen and blah, 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 go through all that rigmarole too. It's just the whole thing is a huge nightmare. Just a huge nightmare. And we're not made whole by it in the end. So the next time someone says like, oh, you'll just get an insurance check, you are missing so much of what kind of just annoyance and hassle and pain these kind of things cause. All right. So moving on. The so we thought it was 360s, which wouldn't have been so bad. I'm like, all right, well, a couple 360s, they only had a minute, they didn't do a lot of damage, unlike some of the break-ins more recently, which were much more devastating. But that's again another story for another time. 360. Then we went and looked, and we're like, wait, actually, it looks like we're missing Xbox Ones. Those weren't Xbox Ones next. So we watched the camera again. We're like, oh, they are a little more boxy than 360s are, aren't they? Oh no, because in 2015, an Xbox One was the new stuff, was pretty valuable. And so we had thought that, well, you grabbed 360s because he couldn't see, so he just grabbed whatever was closest to get something. No, he got the Xbox Ones. And he got 2 of them. But we noticed, like, but he didn't have time to get controllers or power bricks or anything else. What's somebody gonna do with just 2 loose consoles? That was my thought. That was our thought. Like, what do you do with just 2 consoles? And also, like, how do you sell that? Because, like, when you say, like, oh, I got an Xbox One, no power brick. Oh, I got 2 of them. And here's where the rest of the story starts to unfold. So we post about it, and we get, like, tons of attention. Like, lots of, there's some press involved. Our posts on Facebook blow up about it. We put the videos up on Facebook of this happening. And it's pretty, like, again, it's really quick. He's in and out. You can't see him at all. So, like, the odds that someone could ID him from this, no. But, we put it out there to show, like, what had happened. Because it's, like, really stressful and annoying. And truthfully, like, I was thinking, like, hey, well, maybe we'll get some, like, media marketing value out of this. So we've been hit, it hurts, it's cold in the store, we lost some stuff, we have to deal with replacing stuff and insurance companies, but hey, this will go like viral or people will share it, and then people will remember like, oh yeah, that video game store is pretty great, I should go down there. So maybe we'd make it up. Well, I was right. That did happen. It got shared a ton. So I believe I joked about it then, and I think so now too, that like the amount of like marketing or like sharing of our situation that happened probably generated enough sales to cover a lot of the damage, which was kind of cool. It still doesn't, like I just talked about, it doesn't cover the full extent of the. I'd rather it just not happen. I would say that for sure. Not a close call. But hey, that's good. That's good. We got something out of it at least. Um, but we also got like a few people who said like, I'll keep an eye out for like what are you missing? Two Xbox Ones with and we're like, yeah, with no controllers, no power brick or anything. So if you see anyone selling them like that, yeah, probably ours. Let us know. And we have both a lot of loyal fans, but also now a lot of people who are just like feeling bad for us, like who hadn't heard of us, who are like, oh, I'll keep my eye out. And it occurred to me it would be really hard for this thief to sell this stuff. And that's where the next thing comes in. A man posted a Craigslist ad. And my friend Jarrett, he wasn't my friend then, he's my friend now. Jarrett messages me and just says like, hey, I see this like post on Craigslist and it looks super suspicious. What do you think, Mike? And he gets in touch with me and sends it over to me. And as I recall, the Craigslist ad was like, hey, I have two PlayStation 4s, no controllers, no power bricks, no nothing. If you want them, and he posts them for like 300 or 400 bucks, something like that, which would be a good deal at the time. It was like $100 less than what they were going for without all this stuff, maybe a little bit less than that even. So it was like a reasonable deal. And Jarrett says like, uh, hey, this post seems fishy. It's not an Xbox One, but like it seems weird to have two consoles and to have them in the same kind of condition that your Xbox Ones were stolen. I'm gonna reach out to this guy unless you don't want me to. And I said, no, go for it. Let me know if that like how that goes. And he gets back to me, and he gets back to me like the next day with both some details that like one, the guy is acting like he's like being really careful about like where we could possibly meet, and he's not respond like at first he was responding real quick, now he's responding less quickly. Like he determined that the guy was being kind of shady and kind of something seemed a little off about him. And once they had a meeting place and kind of some of the details figured out, because Jarrett's just kind of pushing it forward to see what happens, kind of stringing the guy along. And he said like, I'll just stop. Like if it seems like it's about to happen and it's legit like PlayStation 4s, like I'll just cancel. But he got to the point where it's like, yeah, we're gonna meet at the mall at Destiny USA is what the mall's called. It's in Syracuse. Um, Once he got to that point, the dude says, hey, actually, I don't have those PlayStation 4s anymore. Sorry. But I do have a couple Xbox Ones, two of them. No controller, no cables, look it up. Are you interested in those? And that's when Jarrett was like, oh, these must be the stolen ones. And he messaged me, and I said, oh, yeah, what are the odds? These must be the stolen ones. So I think I'm gonna like the rest of it is what happens next. And I will say we get to the mall and meet the guy. And I'm gonna leave that for a part 2 coming soon. So stay tuned, subscribe, and that'll be coming in the next couple days. Okay. Can't wait to hear what happened. Oh, jeez. Bye bye.